Hello and welcome to the Poultry Health Research Network here at the University of Guelph. I'm Ryan Snyder, the coordinator, and I'll be your host today. Today you're going to see an interview from one of our graduate students who's working on poultry research right here at the university. Enjoy! Hello and welcome to the Poultry Health Research Network. I'm here today with Claire Mindus. Claire, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for organizing this.
Yeah, great. So Claire, tell us about yourself. How did you find your way to be involved with poultry research here at the University of Guelph?
So it's been a long story for me because I've been involved in farm animals since I basically started studying. And after my master's, I actually worked for a few years for a French company which was doing research on issues that were actually raised by farmers or like industry people. So it was very applicable things or problems, and so that really got my interest into like this industry. And after working for this company for a few years, I wanted to continue to work in this field, but like maybe in a different way, and to extend my knowledge. So I was thinking about doing a PhD, and that's where I came here because Guelph for Poultry is a good university to study at. So
very good.
Yeah.
And so what was your undergrad and your master's in?
In France, the system is a bit different.
Okay.
So like I would basically not have an undergrad, like
Okay.
if you compare to what happens in Canada. But my masters were very broad on animal production. So I was basically studying how the industry for farm animal is in France.
Mm-hmm.
And based on that, I got my interest in pigs, in the pig industry and in the poultry industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of exposure to the poultry industry did you have in France, and how is that compared to your industry experience here in Canada?
So mostly through my work after my master, because that was I was working on issues raised by the industry, like people themselves. So I was having first contact with them, and like through conferences or workshops or being on the field in the farm. So that was really like one-to-one interaction. So I loved that.
Mm-hmm.
And here it's very much more in the research farm, or like more through research, like fundamental research. So it's not a like one-to-one interaction with the industry. I didn't have the chance yet to go visit a farm,
Mm-hmm.
and I am actually waiting for that moment. But so it's very different experience so far.
Well, we're glad to have you. It's always nice to have a breath of fresh air from a different country, different culture,
Mm-hmm.
and to bring to the Ontario industry. It's nice to have you.
Thank you.
So tell us about your program and the lab and the department that you're in now.
Yeah, so I'm a PhD student in my third year now.
Okay.
In the Animal Science department, and I'm working with Dr Harlander on laying hens, welfare and behavior.
Fantastic. So the laying hens, which age group with them are you working with?
All ages, because I did run experiments on both like chicks, like 1-day-old chicks, and also like adult laying hens. So it's really throughout the
Okay.
the age.
And what specifically have you been investigating with these birds?
So my research is focusing on the link between a specific behavior, detrimental behavior, which is feather pecking, and the link with the gut-brain axis. And so we're trying to research on that and see how far we can get into that.
Okay, so give us a little bit of a background on the feather pecking in the industry and how we can work with it.
Okay. Well, feather pecking is like the most common, let's say, like issue, and the most like, how would you say that? Well-known issue in laying hens,
Mm-hmm.
in the laying hens industry, because it's very much visible. It's a hen plucking and pecking at the feathers of another hen, and so it's very detrimental both for the welfare of the hen, but also on an economical point of view. It's having negative impacts for the farmers and the industry.
Right.
And the idea that I'm working on is it could be from a how would you say? I'm looking for a specific word.
Mm-hmm.
But that is linked to issues in the gut-brain axis communication, and that could be one of the solutions on that we could improve in feather picking.
So basically you're saying that there's something that we can do with the nutrition that'll influence the bird's behavior and therefore their welfare.
Yeah, so it goes even beyond the nutrition, because the idea that about this gut-brain axis is that the gut and the brain are linked, and that by giving a supplementation, for example, to our birds, we could have an impact on their gut microbiota, and that this would have an impact on their neurology, and at the end would impact their behavior. So hopefully that's what we're trying to prove here.
Wow, very complex. Very interesting.
It is.
So what about this project has been exciting for you so far?
It's been really, really exciting. Even before when I first applied to it, I was excited about it, because it happens that I was actually working on feather pecking before in France. And here it's a very, very fundamental project. Like, the research behind it, or the theory behind it, is very fundamental, but with, at the end, I hope, very applicable outcomes. So that's why I like the most. It's like both looking out for what's happening, like the biological mechanism, but like with something that is actually going to be useful for the industry.
So what general conclusion do you hope to find out of the work?
Well, if I am successful in my theories and like my research, hopefully we could end up at the end with a novel probiotic supplementation available for the industry, and that would help reducing or even preventing feather pecking for all the laying hens that we have worldwide, and not even in Canada, but like all over the world. So that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah. As part of this project, is there any collaborative approaches with other labs that you've been involved in?
That is, no, not really. It's a very into the lab project, as we are raising our own birds, although the birds we originally had went from Germany, from a researcher whose name is Claire. But like, since a few years we've been like breeding our own birds and raising them in our research station. So it's very much a lab work, like where everyone is helping.
Oh, very good. And so we've already touched on it a little bit, but just let's hear it again. What will the results from this study mean for the poultry industry, both locally and globally?
So, again, if I'm successful in there, that would be a huge impact, I'm hoping, because we would be able to provide a easy-to-use solution, like a supplementation to prevent feather pecking. And like for the farmers, it would be very easy to use, and to, I hope, a minimal cost. I have no idea about what the cost could be, but and something that would work in any kind of housing system, so that could impact a lot of hens.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to hear that we can find new ways to improve welfare for our birds, right? When you get these results, do you have plans to publish and present them at conferences or in journals?
Yeah, so I already presented a few results last year at the PSA conference, like the Poultry Science Association. I'm going again this year, so
Fantastic.
I'm going to present new results, and I'm going also in Norway to the ISA conference, and hoping to publish my first paper this summer. Okay,
congratulations, very good.
Thank you.
And so what's next for you after your program? What careers are you looking forward to?
So I still have at least a year for to write and finish analyzing my results. But after that, I'm definitely hoping to stay in Canada. First of all, because that's an amazing country, and I would like to learn more about the industry itself, how it does function. And so I would be very thrilled to find a job in the industry sector, or even a government position.
Fantastic, yeah, we'll be happy to have you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the poultry industry or academic community?
Just that I'm happy to be part of it and to learn every day.
Yeah, very good. Okay, this has been another Poultry Health Research Network student interview. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.